You ever wanted to make a Garry's Mod Five Nights at Freddy's thumbnail that looks like this? Well, you're in the right place. This is gonna be the official tutorial on how to make a Garry's Mod Five Nights at Freddy's thumbnail for your channel. Make sure to stick around and check all the steps so you do it right. Anyways, let's get it. Alright, so, one of the first steps on making a Gmod thumbnail is going to the library on Steam and downloading Source Filmmaker. It is free on the store, so, yeah, you can just download it. Free of charge. I don't think it takes up that much space, so, yeah. Alright, if you see this screen and it's your first time using SFM, this is normal. It kind of looks weird, I know, but this is how it's supposed to look. Now, once you load in, there is going to be a screen that pops up here, right here. First of all, yes, I know there is a lot of buttons on this page, on this application, though most of them are useless unless you're working with an animation and you're trying to make an animation, which that is not our tutorial today. So yeah, most of them are useless, so relax. We just gotta name our session. This one we're just gonna name it thumbnail tutorial. I cannot spell. Then you would just want to, browse and choose the directory that it's gonna be in. For frame rate, we're gonna need 60 if you want to get the best, smoothness whenever you're moving. If your PC can't handle 60, just put it lower, see what works best for you, and then yeah. We don't have to mess with anything here, and then just click create. Now once we're in here, all we gotta do is just press this just to get started. Where it says no camera, click it and it'll switch to work camera. That's an important thing to do. We want to right click on the black screen. We want to go to load map and we want to search up void or just black_void.psp. If it doesn't show up here, make sure you're on all mods and BSP files. Then we just want to click open while we have the, map selected. It is going to take a little while depending on how fast your PC is, so just wait until it actually, loads the map in. Okay, now do not freak out if it is a black screen. That is completely normal. What we want to do to fix this is right click on the black screen and disable enable lighting. This is gonna make the whole entire map show up. Now what we're gonna do is hold left click in order to move the camera. If it's laggy just like this, even though that we clicked 60 frame FPS, we want to right click again, go to render settings and turn off progressive refinement and ambient occlusion. Press OK and then it's going to be way more smoother now. Notice how I have two cameras on each side? That is by going to Windows and go into primary viewport and secondary viewport. You can choose where you want them to be, but for me, this is my layout. If you would like to copy it, go ahead. Now what we would like to do, hold left click and WASD to move around, hold shift to go extremely fast, and hold control to go really slow. And with the mouse wheel, if it's too zoomed in, we can zoom out. Now what we want to do is just place it wherever you want the camera to be or whatever. And then what we want to do now is go to the plus sign on the top left, go to create animation set for new camera. Once we have this in, we want to press this so it shows up the camera. We want to drag this camera into the secondary viewport. At least this is how I do stuff. Now, if you try to move it here, it's gonna say that it's an invalid manipulation. Press OK and go over here to the graph editor. Graph editor and motion editor is usually what you use to animate and posing. So actually, for now, we just want to go to motion editor. That's what most people use. Now, if you press camera 1, move the camera while you're selecting camera 1, you can see now that you can move it. So just go to one of these walls right here. Make sure to make it straight and just zoom in a lot. Not by a lot where it's just like that, but zoom in so you can still see the line and just the whole entire brick wall. Now, how do we get our models inside of SFM? What we want to do for this is we want to go to the workshop. We want to scroll all the way down, see all 24,000 items. We want to make sure it's on model and then search up FNAF. Or just Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever you're looking for. Now for this, we're just going to download a random model. For example, let's search up the UFMP models, which are really good models in my opinion. Let's see here. Let's get these, the withered models for UFMP. We want to download them and make sure to download the required add-ons. If you don't, it is not going to work for you. Trust me. I've done it before and yeah. As you can see, they're really accurate to the actual models from the game. This is why UFMP is really good models to use. Now, when you hop inside of SFM again, it's going to ask you if you want to download it. Make sure you have this and this checked. and press OK. Now, as you can see on the bottom, it says Steam Workshop downloading 1 files. That is the add-on that you have downloaded. Now, if you do get this workshop file conflict pop up, make sure to just press no to all. Now, all files downloaded from the Steam Workshop. Press OK. And now we want to go to the plus sign, go to create animation set for new model. And here we want to press MDL files. Make sure this is on workshop, and you just want to search up UFMP. Make sure to rescan whenever you download a model so the SFM application can actually detect the models that you actually downloaded. Now they're gonna pop up. For this, we're gonna actually use just Withered Freddy Fazbear. We want to open it. Withered Freddy right here. Now, as you can see, his teeth are actually bluish purple. We're gonna fix that in a minute. But for now, we're gonna actually focus on the posing part. Notice how you can't really move the Freddy because you're moving the camera instead. What we want to do is hold control at all times whenever you want to move him. We want to select the pelvis, which is the bone that moves the whole entire body at once. We want to set him down. As you can see over here from the camera 1 perspective, we have Withered Freddy. We want to make it so it's like in front real quick. Let's see, let me just make this a little better. For now, that's pretty good. A little trick that I use just to make it, I don't know, have more life to it. We want to click the rotate tool over here, and we just want to click, hold, and just move it, you know, and just mess around with it until you get a spot to where you like it. Now we want to hold control again to move a bone. We want to go to the upper arm and just pose this guy. Once you have this all figured out, then you just want to pose him, you know, just pose everything about him. And if you don't like anything, just keep on posing until you find something that you like. I'm going to speed it up so I can move on to the next part while I'm posing him, so you guys don't get bored. Now, if you want to move 2 joints or bones at the same exact time, you want to go over here to where all the bones are. For example, we're going to do the eyelids. Make sure eyelid 0. Now, eyelid 0 is the top eyelid, and eyelid 1 down here is the bottom eyelid, just to keep that in mind. So we want to select eyelid 0 and eyelid right. We want to hold control to select both of them and then move them right here. As you can see, it's going to select them both. Now, if you have problems with the eyes while rotating them, like this weird bug, you want to right click on the green dot over here, go to rotation mode, and just change it from world to local. That's going to fix the bug. All right, now that we're done posing, we're going to start to fix the teeth. We want to right click on Withered Freddy, go to add override materials, right click on him again, show an element viewer, and press model. Now over here it looks like we're coding, but we're actually not. We just want to press the plus button next to materials. We want to open teeth, right click on it, attribute, string, and now once we're at this point, we want to make sure that we type in, just delete this new attribute, and we want to type in $ base texture with no spaces, no capitals. If you do anything wrong, it is not going to work. So make sure to press OK. Now, as you can see, it just made it even worse. It's missing textures, just like from Gmod. But in order to fix that, we just want to go here. Next to the base texture, we want to write white. This is just going to make the material white. Now, as you can see, it's not that bright. We want to click teeth again, attribute, and this time instead of string, it's going to be color. Again, like I said, just delete this. And this time we're going to write $ color. No spaces, no capitals. Press OK. Now, as you can see, they're black. Once we go here to the black, we just want to go all the way to white. Make sure it's to a point where you like it. As you can see, his teeth are kind of glowing. In order to change that, we want to go to animation set editor. We want to click on the camera one. And now these are some settings right here. We have bloom scale, SSAO bias, SSAO strength, and a lot of other ones. We want to turn SSAO strength all the way up and bias all the way up. Bloom scale needs to be down, and radius needs to be at least below the R, or to the left of the R. Don't put it too high or too low. We want to right click on this again, go to render settings, go to ambient occlusion. As you can see, it kind of makes the lighting a little bit weird, but that is gonna help with the actual thing once we get to it. Oh, right, teeth. In order to just make the teeth less white or just less glowy, we just want to lower it down to where we feel like it's good. Like for example, over here, you have gray, and then it just kind of gets up from there. So this should be a good point to stop with the, whiteness. Now, once we're here, we just want to add another model. Again, go to new model. We're still here, so we want to go to all the way down, because I have other models actually. We want to go to maybe Foxy the Pirate. Yeah, sure, that's cool. We want to go to open. Now, as you can see, he's kind of like weird. He's still standing. We just want to do the same exact thing we did with Freddy. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of body groups, and it's really easily to get confused. To fix that, we just want to go over here to Withered Freddy, and we want to deselect the mouse button. Now, when we hold control, it's not going to show him. And if you don't want to show the model, we just want to click the eye thingy to, do it again. And if we want to see the body groups again, same exact thing. Now we just want to get Foxy up in here and start posing him again. If you do tend to forget on how to rotate him, just go down here and click the rotate tool next to the moving tool. These other tools are just not really important as much. These two in the middle are actually the most important out of all of these. So we just want to pose him, and I'll be back once I do that. Now, since we're done posing Foxy, I'm actually going to add just one more character, Wither Bonnie, for example. Yeah. Oh, as we can see, Wither Bonnie also has the little bug where his teeth are blue. If you guys do forget on how to do that, you would just probably want to rewind the video and go back to where I explained it. Let's get to posing Wither Bonnie. As you can see, we just finished posing each one of the characters that we have here. Now you might be asking me now, since we're done posing these models, GJ, what do we do next? What I will say to that question is right click and enable the lighting, and make sure to click again. Now, as you can see, yeah, it is kind of weird. It's all black, but you can only see Wither Freddy's eyes. That is fine. What we want to do is press this light. What we want to do is press this plus again. You're going to go to light, and that is going to add our light. Oh, actually, real quick, we want to disable lighting real quick. And what we want to do before we add lights is go to model and search up green screen. If you do not have this green screen model, we want to go to the workshop. We just want to go back and search up green screen. Not that hard. And we just want to download this one, is the one that I actually use. Green screen panels with the, Team Fortress 2 character in the front. So yeah, we just want to download this. Do the same process and make sure to rescan once you actually download them if they don't appear. As you can see, there are multiple. The one I love using is 64. That just makes it a whole lot easier. Now, you might also be wondering, how in the world is this gonna fit all the characters in the background? So what we want to do is press this over here. We want to right click on the root transform and add scale control to transforms. Once we click that, it's gonna add another text. We want to click on that. And down here, where all the other settings are, where the settings are supposed to be, move it all the way to the right. That is going to make it way bigger. If you do have the problems as well with the models, we just want to do the same exact process and make them bigger or smaller according to what you want. Now we want to hold control, press static prop, and use the rotate tool to rotate it, upwards. Now we just want to use the moving tool and put it back behind them. What I like to do, just to be organized, is click the first or last model and then hold shift while clicking the last or first model again. This is going to select everyone. Now we want to right click on whatever model and group selected, and now we want to just rename this to maybe models, and that is just going to make it way easier to differentiate, the lights, models, and cameras. Now what we want to do is right click again and now enable lighting. Now we just want to add more lights here. I normally do just maybe like 4 or 5 depending on how much we need. Now the first model that we're going to be exporting as a render is Freddy Fazbear, or Wither Freddy for that matter. Now we just want to click the I button on Foxy and Bonnie, so only Withered Freddy's showing. Now, obviously, as you can see, oh my gosh, he's really bright. What we want to do here is click the light one. Now drag it into the primary viewport, aka the first one. Now we can actually move the light from this camera. We want to do this with all the other lights until he looks good. As in, let's do like this on top of him. Just put him like in random places, as you can see. Maybe like right here would be cool. yeah, right there would be cool, I guess. And as you can see, he's way more, you know, visible and stuff like that now. Now, obviously, this is not the, you know, lighting that you see on thumbnails, as I showed you before in the intro. First of all, we want to click every single light. We want to click the first light and go to shadow filter size and shadow add in. We want to lower this all the way down, especially for every single light that you spawn in. We just want to do it for every single light that you have here. No matter how many lights you have, you want to just do it for all of it. It's obviously going to make it way better as before. Again, it's not the lighting that you see on thumbnails. What we want to do is just, we want to mess around with the intensity on each one of the lights that we have here. And it's just going to lower it down, not making it so bright or dark. It's just going to balance the lighting a bit. And yeah, boom. One thing that I like doing with my actual lights is we're going to be adding an outer glow, as you see for other thumbnails, inside of the actual Photopea app that we're going to be using after SFM. So just to help the outer glow actually pop, we want to go to light 5 or whatever light, I guess, and make sure it's somewhere maybe just like this area. And we want to go to, we want to scroll down all the way to these colors: color red, color green, color blue, and color alpha. Color alpha doesn't really do that much, so don't mind about that. Now you're gonna have to see and experiment on what colors these make. For example, red, blue makes green, obviously. Or actually, for example, whenever we put it all the way to the left, that means we take out that color. As you can see, it's green and blue, which makes, you know, this kind of cyan. If we take away green, it's gonna make blue. If we take away blue and red, it's gonna make green. Same for the green and blue. If we take these away, it's gonna make red. So in order to make orange or other colors, we wanna take away all blue and take away maybe half of the green. As you can see, it kind of makes like a little thing on the right side, a little glow on the right side of him. You just want to mess around with this, with these settings a bit. We want to go to light 4 maybe, you know, add some more lights, do the same exact thing here. Just basically mess around with it, is that all? Basically just mess around with it is all. And again, if you need more lights, of course, go to the plus sign, go to light. Make sure before you do anything with it, go to shadow filter size and shadow outline. You want to turn that all the way down. Drag a light 6 over here and just make it so it's a little bit brighter, I guess. Now, I think this is pretty good. Before we want to export it, we want to make sure to save. That is really important. Now, right click on the screen. We want to go to render settings and we want to turn on progressive refinement and ambient occlusion. We want to turn all of this on. We want to go to the first use camera settings. We want to turn it to 64 and then the second one 32. That is going to make it a little bit better. Now we want to press OK. We make sure that you're on the clip editor before you export it. This is going to make it way more high quality. Instead of this, as you can see, it kind of makes it a little weird. Now we want to go to file to export it. We want to go to export, make sure to click poster. We want to definitely save, change the format to PNG, and make sure to just select the place where you want it. Just title it whatever you want. For example, withered ready render. And we want to save. Now we can actually export the poster. Oh, also before that, make sure you have all these settings that I have here. Make sure this is on pixels, not inches, please. 1920 by 1080 is the normal thing. And then constrain proportions. Now we want to go to export poster. While this is exporting, we want to head to our browser over here. Now we want to go to Photopea. Just search it up and then you'll see it. Okay, if you never used this app before, it's basically just a free version of Photoshop. And it has all the settings that Photoshop has. So we want to go to new project. We want to go to YouTube cover. I don't really like using the YouTube thumbnails, so if you want to use that, that's fine. But YouTube cover is the one I prefer. We want to press create. Now, as you can see, it's kind of like zoomed in on the canvas. We want to press this little zoom tool, or just press Z, right click, and then fit the area. Now we can see everything that we do much closer. After we press Z, we want to go to V in order to, you know, have the select tool. A little quick thing that I do is just add a new layer down here and then just delete the old background so it's transparent. Now we want to go to the file explorer. We want to go to downloads and we want to go to withered Freddy render. You just want to drag this over here and boom, it is in. We want to size it to where it actually fits the canvas, and we want to go back to our select tool. Now, since there's this like little box on the layer of Withered Freddy, we want to right click him and make sure to rasterize. This is a really important step. Always rasterize your renders. Now, of course, there is a green screen. GJ, how do you get rid of it? We want to go to select. We want to go to color range. Now select the green screen with your mouse and make sure the fuzziness is all the way up and the select is just sampled colors. We want to press OK. And now before we backspace like other people do, a little trick that someone taught me is we want to go to select again. We want to go to modify and expand. We want to just press OK. Don't mess around with these settings. It is going to cut into the render a bit, but that is fine. It's going to make it so there's absolutely no green screen. As you can see, there's like this little selection box or whatever all around Withered Freddy. In order to get that out of the way, we want to press Control plus D. Not obviously plus, just Control D. Now the selection isn't there anymore. It is just Withered Freddy. Now we just want to do this with all the other guys, but this time you can see that Withered Foxy is kind of like orange a bit instead of red. We just want to fix the lights and, you know, according to how Foxy is or whatever his color is, we just want to take away green and blue to make red. So that's something that we can do. Light 1. Do that again. Also, make sure to not have so many lights that are red. It's just gonna overflow the render with red. It's not a good look. Just organize these lights a bit more. Mess around with the intensity. Again, if you want to add a new light, just do that and do the shadow atom thing or whatever. And I feel like that should be good. Let's add another light here, light 7. Do the shadow thing, drag it in. And as you can see, without it, it's kind of dark on the right. So we just want to fill some of that light up or whatever. Move it away a little bit so it's not so bright. And I feel like that should be good in my opinion. Now we want to go back to the clip editor. We don't need to do anything except save, which is really important again. Also, save is by using Control S. We want to go to File, Export, Poster, do the same exact thing, but make sure to change the name and the directory, or just keep the same directory. Again, maybe just Withered Foxy Render. Press enter and then press export poster. Again, we just want to go to Withered Foxy render, drag it in. Now, as you can see, it's behind Freddy. How do we fix this? Well, first of all, first step is just size it to where it fits the canvas. That is a little too big. All right, there. Go to selection tool again. Go to selection tool or move tool or whatever. Make sure, please make sure drag the render that you're gonna take the green screen away all the way to the top. If you don't, it's gonna mess it up, trust me. Now we just want to rasterize it again by right clicking and rasterize. We want to select color range and select the green screen over here. Press OK. Again, before pressing backspace, we want to go to select again, modify, expand, and press OK. Now we can backspace on our keyboard. Press Ctrl D again to unselect everything. Now we can drag him to the bottom. Let's do this for Bonnie now. Now that we have Withered Bonnie rendering, we want to go back to Photopea and just wait for it to, render inside of your Withered. Now that we have Withered Bonnie dragged in, we just want to move him all the way to the top just to get that over with. Make sure to size him to how the canvas is. Rasterize. And do the same with the color range. Press OK. Modify. Oh, crap. Expand, press OK, backspace, and Control D. Now we just want to move him all the way to the bottom. And of course, we have our triple trouble trio. I don't know why I said that, but anyway. Real quick before we continue, if you have a character that is green and the green screen is green, we want to go right over here, right click on 641, which is technically the green screen. We want to set skin, and we want to just choose blue. Or any other color that is not the actual, thing. Now, continuing. Remember how we talked about the outer glow? First of all, we're going to do Bonnie. We want to right click on Bonnie. We want to go to blending options. And over here is a lot of settings. We just want to go to outer glow, check the box. Now click outer glow. Make sure to copy my settings right here. Now these are the settings that I usually have, which is really working for me as of right now. But for now, we want a different color other than this weird color. We want blue, considering that's what Bonnie is. Want to press OK and press OK. As you can see now, Wither Body has an outer glow. We just want to do this with Foxy. Oh crap. We just want to do this with Foxy as well, but instead of blue, obviously we want red. Boom. Red looks pretty cool on him. Now for Withered Freddy, you want to, of course, check the outer glow box or whatever. Now instead of red or blue, we want an orange type of color, so just keep on scrolling down until you see orange like this. And as you can see over here, for example, on the bottom of his arm has a bit of an orange tint to it, and that helps the outer glow match with the actual render. Now we have the characters all done. Now how about the background? We want to click this gradient tool by pressing G or just clicking it manually over here. Something that I normally do is just click over here, click this little box, and then click another little box, press purple, press OK. I usually just do purple for the background and make the second one a bit darker than the first one, just to give it some contrast and gradient. We want to make sure that we're selecting layer 1 on the bottom, click and drag from the top of the canvas to the bottom, or just anywhere to the bottom. This is gonna make a little gradient over here. Now obviously this looks kind of weird. We want to press layer 1 while we're selecting it. We want to go to opacity over here. We want to press this little down arrow and we want to lower it to, I guess, 23 or anywhere between 20 to 30. Do not go above 40 because that just kind of looks weird, I guess. 36 would be fine for me as of right now, so let's just have that instead. Now, if you do see in other thumbnails, they have like a border around the thumbnail or just the image or the background, we want to create a new layer for that by clicking this little paper thing on the bottom of the screen. Now we want to click on the rectangle select tool, which is by pressing M for shortcut. We want to make sure that we're not selecting, like we're not holding like here. We want to leave some space between these two bars. So click and drag all the way to the down all the way here. So make sure to just follow how I'm doing it. Boom. Now, as you can see, this made nothing. What we want to do to fix that is go to select, go to inverse. That is going to make a little border around it. Now obviously there is no color, it's just selection. For that we want to go to this half circle it just says new adjustment layer. Click it. We want to go to gradient fill and boom, there is now a gradient. We want to select this gradient thing. We want to go to the first one. Again, I usually use purple because it's my favorite color. You guys can use whatever you would like, but yeah. In order to get this out of the way, because it is kind of covering everything here, we just want to press this properties and then boom, it's out of the way. If you want it again, just press it and yeah. Make sure to put the border layer all the way to the bottom, except for we still want it over the gradient layer. So yeah. Now, as you can see, there is still no background. For that, we want to go to the map that we actually used inside of Garry's mod for this video. We want to go to workshop. Now we can just find the map that we can actually make sure to go to none specified, press add-on of course, and then go to map. Now we want to search up the map that we use. So for example, we're just going to use Pizza Day map, which is a really iconic map. As you can see here, this is it. As you can see here, this is the map. Now obviously we can't really download the images from here. So as you can see, we have the map right here. Though we cannot download the images from here. So what we want to do to actually fix that is go to right click on any image, go to copy page URL. Now we want to go to our browser, create a new tab, and paste it right here. Paste and go to. Now we have the Steam website version. Now we can actually right click and save image as. We're just gonna use a random image, maybe. Actually, this one would probably work. We want to right click. We want to save image as. We just want to save it here. Make sure to, download or whatever. Now when we drag it in, obviously it's kind of small. So we want to put it all the way up. Now, a problem that we need to fix immediately. As you can see, once we even rasterize it, it is not high quality. Now, this is kind of sketchy, but we want to search up waifu 2x. Make sure it is this link. Whatever link else is probably a virus or just not. It just doesn't do good. We just want to choose the file that we want to, make it high quality. Make sure the style is on photo, noise reduction high, upscaling to X, and image format PNG. We just want to check I'm not a robot or whatever. Just verify this. My gosh. Yeah, press convert, and it's going to open up a new page. And obviously, it is way much higher quality. You want to right click, we want to copy image or save image as. Now instead of this, we have this, which is obviously way more high quality. So we just want to replace that with this, make sure it fits the canvas here. And then boom, we have a way more upscaled version of the image that we want to use. Now for this, we want to drag it below the gradient layer, which is below everything. And actually, the opacity for the gradient layer does need to be turned down at least a bit to a point where you can still see the gradient layer a bit. Now, congratulations! Give yourself a little pat on the back, because we just finished more than half of the thumbnail tutorial. Also, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to go subscribe, Helps me a lot. Now, something that you see other Gmod YouTubers do is have a Gmod logo and some speed lines inside of the background. If you would like to download those images, please go to my Discord server and there will be an actual dedicated channel. Alright, now something that I see YouTubers do a lot is put speed lines and like anime speed lines on the background and put a Gmod logo onto the thumbnail. In order to do that, just go down below, join my Discord server, and I have a dedicated category and channels according to what you need. So speed lines are all here. We have different colored speed lines: blue, dark blue, green, orange, purple, red, yellow, blue, all of that. We have the Gmod logo right here, really high quality and just, transparent. So once you download all these, you should be fine. So for me, it's going to be purple because it's going to match with the background and everything. So boom, you want to select the tool. Yep. All right, rasterize it. Make sure to do that. Now you want to put it all the way down, but put it above the border layer, which is going to be this layer 2 or whatever. Double click it or just go to blending options and do the outer glow, but instead of orange or whatever, we want to make it purple just to make it pop out a bit more. And as you can see, it's kind of like spread it out. We want to make this range a little bit lower. Just mess around with the settings and you should be fine. These settings work for me, so if you want to copy them, go ahead. Alright, already looking way much better. Next up is this Gmod logo that we have here. We just want to rasterize it. It's pretty big. Alright, we want to go over here. We want to set it down to the corner or whatever corner you want or wherever you want it. I usually use the bottom corners if there's nothing there, so we want to do this because there's nothing here that we need to, that we can't cover. We don't want to mess around with the Gmod logo, and once we do that, of course, we have our official Garry's Mod FNAF thumbnail. Do now for thumbnails is we go to new adjustment layer, we go to exposure, and we mess around with these settings. For me, the exposure, it kind of depends on so exposure just adds exposure, and the offset adds offset or whatever. So you just want to mess around with these settings according to how your thumbnail looks. For me, this looks perfectly fine, and Gmod logo, I don't want it to be with the exposure, I just want it normal, so that's how it's gonna be. And congrats, you have made it to the end of the video and of tutorial actually. So if there are any questions, and I mean any questions, please don't hesitate and be free to let me know in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer any comments and questions that you guys have. Again, the Discord server is going to be linked inside of the description and probably the comment section. So yeah, that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.